Hello students, I welcome you all to EPG Pathshala. Myself Professor Sampath Kumar Swai, working as Professor at Department of Tourism Management in Indira Gandhi National Tribal University, Amarkantak. Today, you all will be listening from me on a topic that is tourism development at global level. After completing this module, students will be equipped to comprehend the emerging trends and evolving practices in international tourism, understand the issues and challenges of tourism development at global level, to know the developmental agenda devised by major destinations, understand the factors responsible for the development of tourism. Introduction. Tourism at present is one of the world's largest industries and is regarded as a major engine of economic progression, especially for the developing countries. Globally, tourism is considered as a sunrise industry registering a sparkling record growth rate of 10 to 12% annually. Globally, tourism development takes place in tandem with multiple benefits, but if tourism is not properly planned, managed and controlled, it could result in deterioration of the tourist destinations, leading to a series of disastrous events ranging from rise in pollution to environmental issues, and finally results in irreversible damage to the tourist centers. Therefore, the destination planners and promoters, while tapping the potentials of tourism, ought to carefully plan and analyze several aspects in order to steer away the negative and adverse impacts that crop up due to negligence, lack of good governance and monitoring, corruptive practices, etc. Development trends and practices in global tourism. Tourism is a multi-dimensional industry and a conglomeration of manifold projects, propositions and initiatives. The international flavor of tourism makes it a complex industry. Tourism is interconnected with almost all the fields. The developments taking place in the realm of global tourism has been fast-tracked, realizing the huge benefits tourism industry can bring forth to all-round growth of destinations. The swift pace at which tourism projects are being incepted in almost all countries across the globe has catapulted the industry to greater heights. The adoption of latest technology to leverage various functions of the industry has also set the ball rolling for good prospects for all stakeholders of the tourism. Day by day, the standards of tourism developments are increasing and a great deal as every nation strives for innovation and creativity in the sphere of tourism. In this section, tourism development at global level are grouped under various heads such as political, socio-cultural, environmental, legal, technological and economical. Tourism development and political dimensions. The alignment of regions and formation of blocs between countries such as NATO, NAFTA, ASEAN, SAARC, EEC, BRICS, BCIM, etc. have added teeth to the bilateral multilateral relations, and its repercussions are enormously evident in tourism. The end of hostility between estranged nations is a major political achievement due to tourism. Tourism has gone a long way in consonance with the improved political equations between countries. The world has witnessed the surge of tourists to China when the nation opened its door to tourism. Eventually, China's economy experienced a splendid rise. The accentuating tourist arrivals to Southeast Asia is an outcome of the political collaboration and networking between the countries. The political undercurrents paved the way for sharing of resources, infrastructure, indigenous know-how, technology, human expertise. Several destinations are signing memorandum of understanding and agreements for mutual cooperations in the area of tourism. This is a strong development agenda and a political outcome. In line with the political fallout of the tourism development, there are various other aspects involved such as liberalization of travel formalities, ease of sanctioning foreign direct investment in tourism, smooth issuance of e-visa, visa on arrival, schemes extended towards most favored nations, MFNs, and also the confidence building measures CBMS, which have a positive bearing on tourism promotion. At the same time, tourism is also used as a political weapon to show animosity. Some countries are banning tourist influx from the countries they consider hostile. Similarly, travel advisories are also issued banning outbound travel, sometimes restrictive travel, and in certain cases, caution advise these actions. Needless to mention, stunt the growth of tourism. Amicable political relations can lead to cultural exchanges, which nourish tourism activities. The socio-cultural slants in tourism development. On the socio-cultural front, tourism has progressed excellently. The revival of cultural embodiment by way of encouraging artisans and performers, along with preservation of monuments, ruins, performing arts, and forms and traditional artifacts, brought about path-breaking development in tourism. The curiosity to know about other societies and their cultures triggered tourist visits. As a result, tourists stay in countries on a long-term basis to learn traditional dancer craft, making, music, and martial art forms. Environmental perspective vis-a-vis tourism development. A major turnaround that occurred in the sphere of tourism is to bring the phenomenon under the umbrella of sustainable development. Thus, the key being sustainable tourism, all the tourism initiatives come under the scanner in terms of the environmental impacts, and therefore these are the planned, managed, and measured in a proper manner. Most of the environmental resources have become tourism products. Hence, preservation of natural resources such as forest, flora and fauna, waterfalls, beaches, lakes, rivers, ponds, streams, glaciers, marine aspects, and the like gives a remarkable impetus to tourism development. Community-based tourism has enormously impacted tourism development globally, mainly by preserving and showcasing the environmental resources. Ensuring vibrant community participation in tourism project is a strong factor aiding tourism development. Legal implications and tourism development. It is an unvarnished fact that very few countries in the world have enacted legislative measures as regards the domain of tourism. Consequently, the Global Code of Ethics has been adopted by many tourism destinations to lay down the regulatory measures and guidelines pertaining to tourism development. Accordingly, the ethical framework of tourism has been strengthened owing to the drafting of national tourism policies. Tourism development committees have been subsequently formed to devise action plans and create a roadmap for tourism growth. There are hosts of issues that impede and pose several constraints to tourism development, like safety and security, threats, cheating, cybercrimes, human rights violation, displacement, cultural dilution, fleecing, disfiguring monuments and aesthetics, littering, quarrying, etc. And hence, strong legal interventions are warranted in the event of such occurrences. The perspectives of technology in tourism development. The contemporary information society has the character of tourism industry and made it a highly information intensive industry, as IT has a potential impact on tourism business. IT tools have facilitated business process in tourism industry by dissemination of updated information, advanced reservation systems, search engines, smooth, fast and efficient access. Customers on the other side are increasingly using online travel portals to obtain information on various travel itineraries for planning their travel. Tourism development is greatly influenced by the industry professionals who are technically trained to handle the operations involving ICT tools, system and information practices. Tourism development and economic indicators. The rise in the purchasing power of tourists to global destination has strongly impacted the demand to tourism industry. Offering cost-effective destinations are thriving and tourists are satisfied when they receive value for money products and services. Albeit, the fluctuating hotels, restaurants and travel rates are a cause for concern. The foreign exchange reserves is swelling and tourism contribution to world GDP is staggering due to increase in world tourist arrivals. Budget tourism must be provided ample thrust. Both the direct and indirect taxes positively influence the economic situation of our destinations. The issues and challenges of tourism development at global level. Acute elements, the spread and threat of acute elements like Ebola virus, disease like Zika viral, infection, INE, EHINI, SARS, plague, AIDS, etc. pose hurdles in the path of tourism development. Travel advisories have been issued against many African destinations owing to the fear of infection of Ebola and Zika. Terrorism and political strifes, violence, terrorist strikes, commotion, communal riots and political strikes and disturbances causes serious threats to tourism development, safety and security threats, sexual atrocities on women tourists, lack of lifeguards, police and security personnel at beach and remote destinations, absence of CCTVs, cybercrimes and hacking of tourism websites are impediments to tourism development, shortfalls in tourism amenities. Shortage or absence of basic tourism amenities such as pure drinking water, comfort stations, restrooms, washrooms, information and interpretation centers, guide facilities, tourism signages, etc. can act on obstacles to the advancement of tourism. The other challenges comprise economic exploitation, erosion of destination image due to child trafficking, prostitution, drug abuse, etc. Issues of racism, human rights violation, displacements and refugee crisis, military coups, kidnapping of tourists, political sanctions, poaching and illegal trading, the path-breaking factors in global tourism development. Though the list is exhaustive when it comes to underpinning the crucial factors that act as drivers of global tourism development, a few are mentioned from the current perspective as follows. Responsible tourism. This entails proactive role by all stakeholders to plan and market and manage tourism in a responsible manner to ensure sustainable growth of destinations and in such a way that it results in a meritorious situation for all parties. The governments are responsible for encouraging local community and bring solid benefits to them. The private sector is responsible for promoting tourism in environmentally friendly ways. The local community is responsible for offering safety and comfort to tourists, and the tourists are responsible for respecting local traditions, observing the codes of conduct at destinations and buying locally made products. The responsible tourism approach has brought about significant changes to global destination management organizations. The destination management organization such as the Mauritius Tourism Promotion Authority (MTTA) is playing a critical role in wooing tourists and channelizing the arrivals for developing tourism industry in the respective countries. The DMOs take the lead in effectively marketing the tourism products and services. Community-based tourism. The active involvement of host communities in tourism development has given a real face life to many a destination. Community driver tourism comprises are ruling the roost ideally for a win situation. It is also in the best interest of the overall welfare of the destination. Mobile applications, GPS and other mobile applications extensively used in booking tickets, navigation and other services have revolutionized tourism. Mobile apps play a pivotal role in destination marketing too. Virtual tourism. Tourists get a virtual feel of the destinations they are going to visit by accessing the online technology platform that dishes out virtual images throughout though multimedia. This enables tourism to make a clear-cut decision on travel. Virtual tourism is very useful for armchair travelers and also it is employed as a marketing tool by destination marketers. Facilities for barrier-free tourism. There is a staggering increase in the number of different level tourism survivors and children. Destinations worldwide are setting up facilities such as tactile pathways and braille signage to cater to the need of accessible tourists. Demographic aspects. A notable increase in the number of women travelers, solo travelers, backpackers and senior citizens is a positive trend. Travel enthusiasm among youth is also quite encouraging for the industry. IT professionals are planning steady weekend trips, innovation and creativity in tourism and hospitality enterprises. Excellent innovation is the hallmark of many tourism and hospitality enterprises worldwide. The tourism trends are landmark features of premier destination aligned with boutique hotels, eco hotels, golf courses, vineyards, sound and light shows, pyrotechnics, IMAX theatre, entertainment parks like Disney Worlds, go-karting centers, exhilarating events, themed restaurants, hospitality icons like Burj Khalifa and much more above maintained are some of the catalysts of global tourism development. Global destinations, a bird's eye view. The United States, Canada, the USA has the most tourists and the largest tourist industry in the world. Florida, California, Hawaii and New York receive the most revenues from tourism. Popular attractions in the city of New York included the Statue of Liberty, the United Nations building and Rockefeller Center. Some of the world's best art museums are located in New York, which is served by Kennedy Airport, LaGuardia Airport and the New York, New Jersey Airport. Other attractions in the state of New York include Niagara Falls, Disneyland amusement parks located in Anaheim, California near Los Angeles. Largest include Hollywood movie studios, Beverly Hills, Long Beach, Harbor and coastal beaches. United Kingdom. The United Kingdom, commonly called Great Britain, includes North Ireland, Scotland and Wales. The nation's capital, London, is served by three major airports, Heathrow, Gatwick and Stansted. Visitors to London are attracted to the Tower of Big Ben, Buckingham Palace, Windsor Castle, London Bridge, London Eye, Westminster Abbey, Trafalgar Square, Piccadilly Circus. Outside London are Canterbury Cathedral and the Universities of Oxford and Cambridge. People visit Lake District for scenic and pastoral beauty. France. Paris is a site of the Eiffel Tower, the Arc de Triomphe, the Cathedral of Notre Dame, the Louvre and the Latin Quarter. The major airports are Charles de Gaulle. Outside Paris, visitors can explore the wine-making regions of Burgundy and Bordeaux, the French Riviera and the Grimaldi Museum, which features the largest Picasso collection. Nice is the gateway to the coastal resorts of the Riviera region, Italy. Visitors to Rome, the former capital of the Roman Empire, can explore ancient ruins and visit the Colosseum. The major airports in the area are Fiumicino and Campione. Other popular Italian destinations include Venice, a city of canals, beaches and casinos, the churches and the cathedrals of Florence and Milan, the ruins of Pompeii near Naples and the green hills and rustic villages of Seychelles. The Milan area is served by the Linate Airport, Switzerland, Lake Lucerne, the Gothic Cathedral, Botanical Gardens in Bern and the museums and cathedrals of Zurich are popular attractions in Switzerland. In the Swiss countryside are alpine villages and world-class ski resorts nestled among snow-capped peaks. Africa. Travel on the African continent was once confined to North Africa and the Middle East. With increasing public interest in wildlife conservation, excursions to the interior have grown in popularity. Kenya, Tanzania and Somalia are famous for their wildlife reserves and national parks. Near Nairobi, Kenya are Nairobi National Park, Snake Para, Menigi Crater, Kale, Nakuri. In the Rift Valley has over 300 species for birds. In the source of Lake Victoria, Akargara National Park is home to lions, leopards, buffalo and hippos. The 1800-foot Ngorongoro crater is the largest volcanic crater in the world. Egypt and the Middle East. Egypt is the leading destination in North Africa, and the Middle East attractions in the Cairo area include the Gaza pyramids and the Egyptian Museum. Visitors to Egypt can cruise down the river Nile, relax at Mediterranean resorts, and go scuba diving in the Red Sea. India and Asia. India and Asia form the largest land area in the world. The largest countries of the region are China and India. Philippines, Korea, and Japan are densely populated countries. Travel to Asia became popular in the 1980s with increasing public interest in Chinese culture, the rise of Japan as a manufacturing and financial center. Thailand. Ancient Buddhist temples, exotic dance companies, and seemingly endless handicraft shops attract visitors to Bangkok, the capital of Thailand. Other popular attractions include the crocodile farm, the National Museum, and the Thailand boxing. Japan, one of the most densely populated islands in the world. Japan is the main primary destination of many business travelers as well as tourists. Visitors to Tokyo arrive at nearby Narita Airport. Popular attractions include the Imperial Palace and Ueno Park, which contains the National Museum, Art Gallery, Science Museum, and Zoo. Outside Tokyo, tourists can explore rock gardens, wildlife parks, religious shrines, and hot springs. Australia. Depending on one's point of view, Australia is either the smallest country or the largest island. The Australia climate ranges from deserts to rainforest and snow-lined peaks. Thousands of miles of desolate wilderness, known as the outback, stretch across the interior of the continent. The coastal areas feature scenic beaches and picturesque coves just offshore from Cairns in the world's largest coral formation. The Great Barrier Reef. Visitors to this former British Crown colony can visit zoos, wildlife sanctuaries, botanical gardens, historical sentiments, and or the Sydney Opera House. Summary. Tourism industry plays a vital role in bolstering the global GDP, which is a major plus point. It is one of the biggest and fastest growing sectors in the global economy and has significant environmental, cultural, and social economic effects. The world has witnessed the surge of tourists to developing countries when the nation opened its door to tourism. The accentuating tourist arrivals to Southeast Asia is an outcome of the political collaboration and networking between the countries. The political undercurrents pave the way for sharing of resources, infrastructure, indigenous know-how, technology, and human expertise. Several destinations are signing memorandum of understanding and agreements for mutual cooperation in the area of tourism. In sync with the facts of tourism development, the flaws and adverse effects also capture worldwide attention. The curiosity to know about other societies and their cultures triggered tourist visits. As a result, tourists stay in countries on a long-term basis to learn traditional dancer craft, making, music, and martial art forms. The necessitated well-streamlined approaches and thus emerge the ideals of responsible tourism, which become the oft-discussed motto of modern tourism. The governments are responsible for encouraging local community and bring solid benefits to them. The private sector is responsible for promoting tourism in environmentally friendly ways. The local community is responsible for offering safety and comfort to tourists, and the tourists are responsible for respecting local traditions, observing the codes of conduct at destinations, and buying locally made products. The UN Declaration of 2017 as the International Year of Sustainable Tourism for Development has turned the spotlight on the effective tourism planning, meticulous execution, and foolproof monitoring and evaluation of tourism ventures and activities. Tourism development is greatly influenced by the industry. Professionals who are technically trained to handle the operations involved IC tools, system and information practices. With this, I would like to conclude this presentation. Thank you.